All right, let's talk about something that can feel like being lost in a thick fog, psychological manipulation. We're going to cut right through that confusion, and hopefully by the end of this, you'll have some real, crystal clear understanding.
You ever find yourself in a situation where you know you've been hurt, but somehow the conversation ends with you feeling like you're the one who's crazy? Yeah, this quote just nails it. If someone's openly cruel, you can deal with that. But when the harm is disguised, that's where the real damage is done. The point isn't just to hurt you, it's to make you doubt the pain is even real.
And that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? This is for anyone who's ever felt that psychological vertigo, that dizzying feeling when your own reality is being questioned right in front of you. You're feeling the hits, but you're being told there was never an attack. It's a really isolating place to be, so let's break down exactly how it all works. So let's start with a tactic that hides right out in the open. I'm talking about intentional harm that's always dressed up as carelessness. We're taught to give people the benefit of the doubt, right? But there comes a point where oops stops being an accident and starts being a strategy. And you can see just how calculated this process really is. This isn't a mistake, it's a method. First, the manipulator pokes at a wound, usually an insecurity they've already noticed. Then, and this is key, they watch your reaction. They're studying you, seeing what works. And finally, the masterstroke. They erase any responsibility with some vague line like, "I'm sorry you misunderstood." Over time, you don't question their behavior anymore. You start questioning your own mind. So here's the absolute key. The proof is never in the apology. It's in the pattern. Someone who makes a genuine mistake doesn't feel bad about it. They actually try to fix their behavior. They see real change. But a manipulator, they just get better at finding another excuse. The same hurtful thing happens over and over and over again. Why? Because it's not an accident. It's serving a purpose for them.
And this is where it gets really chilling. When you sit down and explain from the heart why something they did hurt you, you think you're building a bridge, right? Creating understanding? Well, to a manipulator, you're just handing them a more detailed map to all your soft spots. You're literally giving them the blueprint for the next accident.
Okay, so where does it go from here? Once they've got you believing their actions are just misunderstandings, the next step is to make you believe your entire sense of reality is broken. This is where your own mind, your own memory, becomes the battlefield.
Now, this isn't just a simple disagreement. It's a systematic process to erode your trust in yourself. It starts small, with them planting doubt. Just little confident comments like, that's not how I remember it at all. Then they minimize the facts. The conversation suddenly isn't about what happened, it's about your so-called overreaction. Soon, you find yourself constantly asking friends, was I being too sensitive? Did I imagine that? Because your internal compass is spinning. And the final stage, you surrender authorship. You just give in and accept their version of reality as the truth. But here's something you have to remember, and it's so important. Even when your brain is tied in knots, your body is keeping score. You might notice your thoughts feel foggy or you're always tense around this person. But then when you're away from them, suddenly the fog lifts. You can think clearly again. That is not a coincidence. That's data. Your nervous system is screaming a warning long before your mind is ready to hear it. So if they're messing with your reality, why would you ever stay? Why would you keep trying? Well, it's because of one of your best qualities, your empathy. But in a dynamic like this, your compassion isn't a connection, it's a resource, it's fuel. And this is what that one-way street looks like in practice. Your compassion is always flowing out to them. Their problems are these huge, profound dramas. Yours, they're an inconvenience. You end up becoming their emotional janitor, not their equal partner. And yeah, they can say all the right things, they can mirror empathy perfectly, but the second it costs them something, poof, it vanishes. Your patience isn't helping them grow, it's just enabling the whole cycle to continue. And this is the bottom line. It's not that your empathy is a weakness, it's your superpower. But superpowers need to be controlled. You have to pair them with boundaries. You can offer someone understanding without having to accept their mistreatment. Protecting yourself isn't selfish, it's survival.
So what happens when you finally do it? When you finally set a boundary or call them out? Well, get ready for a show. Because when an aggressor is faced with real accountability, they will pull off a stunning theatrical performance, suddenly casting themselves as the true victim in the story.
Let's break down how this performance works. First, there's moral inversion. They'll take your reasonable boundary and frame it as a shocking betrayal. After everything I've done for you? Then they start recruiting allies. They'll run around telling a carefully edited version of the story to anyone who will listen, painting you as the villain to try and isolate you. And finally, they'll shift the focus to feelings. Forget what they did, look at how hurt they are now. It's a brilliant way to make you feel guilty and completely sidestep any responsibility. So how in the world do you tell the difference between real pain and this performance? It all comes down to their goal. Someone who is genuinely hurt, even if they're upset, is ultimately looking for a way to understand what happened and fix it. They want resolution. A manipulator playing the victim? They're not looking for resolution. They are looking for immunity. They want to get away with it and get back in control.
And you know, all of this, the confusion, the gaslighting, the performances, it all leads to our final and honestly our most important section. Because after you wade through all that muck, something amazing starts to happen. Clarity. And this isn't about winning some big fight. It's about a quiet shift inside you that makes all their games powerless. You see, the power of clarity is really about what you stop doing. You just stop arguing. You stop getting pulled into debates about reality. You stop second-guessing every thought you have. Their little provocations to get a reaction from you, they start to look transparent. The guilt trips stop working because you see them for what they are. You simply, calmly refuse to play the game anymore. It's not a loud declaration, it's a quiet withdrawal from the chaos.
And that is the ultimate realization, the one that changes everything. Their control was always an illusion. It was never some special power they had. It was simply the access you gave them. Access to your heart, your energy, your time, your self-doubt. You were the source of the power all along. Which brings us right here to the final, most empowering point of all. Access is something you control. You can limit it, you can redefine it, and if you need to, you can revoke it completely. The fog is gone now. The patterns are clear. The choice of what comes next, well, that choice is, and always has been, yours.